Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Rocco Blanco, oh, sorry, Rocco Bianco is the name of the channel. Just a very old film here. It's been on this channel now for 7 years, but I believe it's a lot older than that, to be honest. I think I seen this a lot longer than 7 years ago. This guy just uploaded it maybe 7 years ago. So this is real old, to be honest. This is at least, it's over 10 years, definitely. It's not the best picture. It's on for nearly 5 hours. It's called The Ring of Power, Empire of the City. Fair use, educational, must-see film. So, it's on for 5 hours. There's a lot of information in here, going through everything, to be honest. Again, I remember bits of this, and it being like a source of very good information. And again, a lot of the stuff I've seen happen, I think, in the last 10 years, it's kind of been predicted in here. Again, I've a very vague recollection of this. It's that long since I watched it, and it's that long as well. But a lot of information there. One thing that really sticks in my mind is this bit here about Prince William. To be honest, Prince William, who's going to be king very soon due to Charles putting his foot in it left, right, and centre with various things like the Epstein files and Andrew, and his health. Seeing Charles' health isn't looking the best. And I always remember watching this back in the day, and I think this goes on in a minute to predict that William will be the king when all this sort of goes down. And it could maybe slightly predict the future, this. And it maybe did so over 10 years ago. So I thought we'd just give it a play and a listen, because I just remember, honestly, it always sticks in my head, this bit about William. And as we've gone on and on and on, and obviously when I watched this, the Queen was very much alive, you know what I mean? This is well before COVID, the Queen was very much alive, Charles wasn't king, William didn't look anywhere near like being king. But here we have a video going on about it, you know what I mean? Quite age old. So it's very interesting as well to see if this will transpire, what it predicts, sort of thing. I think it talks about him sort of ruling as king from Israel. I think that's kind of mentioned, and I don't know what's going on in the Middle East here. We don't. I don't know. Just again, a real old video. Again, a lot of stuff in here. A lot of it will be right. Some might be wrong. Do you know what I mean? But I always remember this bit about Prince William, to be honest. So I thought we'd have a listen and see what's going down here. Let's have a listen to this.
These inbred ruling families pretend to have royal blue blood, but their blood is no more blue or royal than Hannibal Lecter's blood. Some speculate that these families of evildoers are demons or aliens or evil shape-shifting reptilians, but there is a more scientific explanation for their madness. For thousands of years, these families have practiced inbreeding between sisters and brothers, uncles and nieces, mothers and sons, to keep the power and wealth all in the family. This practice of inbreeding over thousands of years has produced a clever but pathological breed of conscienceless, sociopathic families who will stop at nothing to own every ounce of gold, every drop of water, and every blade of grass on planet Earth. The United Nations, which they founded and control, has clearly stated its goals of establishing a new world order, a UN standing army, and a global taxation system. The Queen's husband, Prince Philip, and Evelyn Rothschild have already...
Yeah, Prince Philip and Evelyn Rothschild. They might be all dead at this point, but this plan's long in the making, and these guys set. I think even before these guys, it was set in motion. You know what I mean? The families are carrying it on. That's why I say William's not going to help you here. William was brought up in this family again by these people, and there's no big rift in the family here. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're not going to get it any better with William at all. And well, yeah, again, he's in the club. You know what I mean? He's in the club. I mean, everything you know about William, in fairness, is all PR. It's all come from the media. It's all been very, very cleverly orchestrated for his entire life since his mother's death there. Everything you ever get to know about Prince William is very, very controlled. You don't really get any bad press about him. That's Harry. You get the bad press about Harry. And anything Prince William done's kept completely quiet, to be honest. Again, nothing leaks out about with the future king, because again, about keeping the image of the royal family. But the rest of them can be thrown to the wolves, to be honest. As long as the king and the queen retain, well, decency, I suppose, then they're all right. Do you know what I mean? They can get rid of Andrew here, pretend that they've disowned him and put him in a 5-bedroom house there that we probably have to pay for. Yeah, they can pretend they disown all these people, but in reality, when the cameras aren't rolling and the family dinners are on, they'll be there. You know what I mean? It's all bullshit for the public. So I just wanted to stop it on that list there, because again, this document is over 10-year old. Hold on.
The United Nations, which they founded and control, has clearly stated its...
Right, so, sorry the picture isn't the best again. This is the top quality, it's only 240, so if you come and watch it, the picture isn't the best, but it's real old. I mean, again, honestly, this is over, it could be over 15-year-old, this documentary. So, again, take that into mind, 15-year-old here, we're talking of a one world government, a one world army, a one world bank, economy, and a one world religion, which is looking like Islam at the moment, you know what I mean? Again, it looks like Iran's going to turn this round with the help of Russia and China and defeat America. We're being took over anyway, so it does look like Islam. The one world currency is all the currencies collapse here because of the economy, mentioned that. One world army, well, World War III erupting here, and again, the awfulness of war will lead to the call of are going to have to join together here and fight the aliens and have world peace, you know what I mean? So again, this documentary is at least 15 years old, mentioning all the things that currently are now very much in view. So again, all proof that like none of this is happening by chance at all. None of it. It's all planned. It's been planned for a very, very long time. Even before we were all born is the beauty of it. It was planned before we were all born. Again, the economies, again, the Federal Reserve sort of set up in like the early 1900s there. And the economy built on debt, which eventually will fall. It's kind of took 100 odd years to get there. But yeah, all these economies are built to fall at about this time. And so spend more or less depending on where you are to spend us into an oblivion here, but that's the ultimate goal. And here's the outlining plan: the one world government, the one world army, the one world bank, and the one world religion. 15 years ago. So again, like nobody here is like me as an example. We're not fucking prophets here. We're like there's an established plan. People know it. It's written down. It's absolutely written down. Agenda 30, etc. The Economic Forum. You'll own nothing by 2030 and be happy. And again, if you know what to look for and you're not an idiot, that's very much a real prospect, owning nothing in the near future here, the way the prices are escalating now with the war. Petrol's going through the roof here, which will ultimately cost more for everything. Everything needs delivered. Rent's going up, fucking council tax is going up, bills are going up. So they're making you poor, they're taking everything off you. Eventually you won't be able to pay your council tax and they'll take your house off you. Everybody will be thrown out onto the streets because you will own nothing by 2030. They've told you this, you know what I mean? They've repeated it multiple times. They're not fucking about. They're telling you it for a reason. They're telling you it because that's the plan. So, I just thought it's very, you know what I mean? Here is the plan 15 years ago, and everything you're now coming into view here. But 15 years ago, this could have been madness, which very much was thought of. But we were just trying to give you a heads up, 15-year heads up here. You could have done something about this, but nope. Well, as usual, we walk blindly into the night here in Zombieland. So yeah, we'll carry on. Hold on.
Goals of establishing a new world order, a UN standing army, and a global taxation system. The Queen's husband, Prince Philip, and Evelyn Rothschild have already established an interfaith declaration for the creation of one world religion. What would life be like in this world empire with one world religion, one world army, one world economy, one world court, one world media, one world government, and one world dictator? What the public doesn't know is that Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto and the Russian Constitution have been built into the UN Charter, and that the New World Order will be a communist world order. Peace on earth will be a forced peace in which citizens will have no rights. No right to bear children without approval, no right to travel without authorization, no right to own private property, no right to privacy, no right to bear arms, no right to protest, no right to receive an inheritance, no right to choose an education or a job or even a place of residence, and worst of all, no right to live. The right to live will be based on an individual's rating of usefulness to the royal elite.
Right. Again, this is 15-year-old, this documentary. Everything we're telling you, again, is coming true here. This is the plan, and it's a plan that is age-old. And this is, again, you'll have nothing here. You will own nothing and be happy, but you will have no privacy, you will have no rights, you will have nothing at all here. Total totalitarian world government, as Wikipedia will tell you. It's a conspiracy theory here. No, not at all. It is a conspiracy, but the word theory, you can get rid of that. This is very much happening around you as we speak, every day, and if you open your eyes and pay attention, it's pretty obvious. So, yeah, again, this is the plan, you know what I mean? It's been the plan for quite a while, quite a long time. I mean, people don't know as well. The word real estate, right? Nobody owns, all these people who think they own the house. You don't. Like, the word real estate, when used in the term real estate, real actually means royal, royal estate. Again, this entire country, England, Scotland, and Wales, is royal estates. It's owned by the crown. It's owned by the royal family, and you own 2 inch of topsoil, and then basically below that it's royal land. If they want you off it, they can get you off it. They can use compulsory purchases, but because ultimately it's their land, you kind of pay rent, council tax, you know what I mean? You kind of pay rent, so you can own your house, but you still got to pay rent to the government and like council tax, because ultimately they own the land. It's their land, and if they ever want it back, they can take it back. They just don't particularly want it. There's quite a lot of land. They don't need it at the moment. But when push comes to shove, again, they can put council tax to whatever they want in the near future when the economy collapses, thus rendering everybody impossible to pay the council tax. So you're going to have to sell your house, probably sell it for cheap. The corporations will buy your house, and there you go. All the corporations will own all the houses. You'll own nothing. And you'll be in this state, everything that this woman just mentioned here, of totalitarian world government, where the rule of law, not the rule of the jungle, is the way of things, as George Bush said in a very famous speech there in the 1980s. Again, you've had a 40, 50-year heads up about all of this. Is the beauty of this. They've been telling you for 40 to 50 years what they're doing and what is coming. But the zombies didn't listen. They absolutely didn't listen here. Now we're in the final chapter. We're in the final chapter here. So, let's continue.
In this planned world without borders or nations, citizens will be disarmed of all weapons, including handguns, and will have no means to protest, fight, resist, or challenge this one world authority who will control them spiritually, economically, and militarily. Every human being will be electronically tattooed and will become helplessly dependent on this one world authority for all of their most basic needs. The masses will eventually be taught to bow down and worship this one world dictator who will rule the entire world from his eternal throne in Israel. The big question is, who is this charismatic leader that the entire world would be willing to accept as their ruler?
Yeah, so, again, I think this is going to say Prince William, to be honest, and give you reasonings for it. Might not be right, but I just thought we should have a listen. Could be predicting the future in a way, and Prince William could be coming to the forefront soon enough. He is quite an important person, being the king. Again, people think that these people have no power. They just pretend. They very much have power. So a false Christ as well, possibly the Antichrist. Is it William? Yeah, like this is all the sort of the questions. But again, again, I'm as people know for Satan's little season here. So the Antichrist's already been, all that's already happened. But they are very much playing out tribulation. Again, we put Israel back in the land here and everything that's playing out in modern times. People are looking for signs, and a lot of people are expecting, I believe, is the return of Jesus in the near future. So as I've mentioned, if everybody's deceived, how come half of the world's right? You know what I mean? So my reply to that is they're not right, and this has already happened. Jesus did return, as I've mentioned, the millennium reign, the buildings, Tartaria, yada yada yada. So yeah, they're faking it, and could the false Christ, the Antichrist, again, it might not even be represented so much as a Christ figure, but could it be Prince William who's going to rise up to rule the world, so to speak? Again, this leader of nations. Then it's a very strong possibility, to be honest, because he is the king. Like this again, you seen Donald Trump there come sucking up to King Charles when in them dinners. Again, the big I am, Donald Trump here, you know, the narcissist, and he's coming over kissing the king's ass in those big dinners on the long table, big speeches, etc. So that shows some sort of sign there, in a way. Donald Trump's kissing the king's ass, so it shows a level of power in a way. So again, the royalty is far, far more important and powerful than anyone believes. They are, for me, one of the main ruling family. Again, it mentioned there Everett Rothschild, and he's very, very good friends with the Queen and the financial advisor. They're all in each other's pockets, do you know what I mean? But the upper echelon families of this really are sort of the Windsors, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They're sort of top three of the top 10, you know what I mean? So yeah, again, there's a very strong possibility this could be right. So I don't know, but let's hear it, you know what I mean? I've heard it years ago, and it always, as I say, it always comes back to me, this bit about Prince William, when we're talking of sort of this figure that's going to rise up and deceive the world, so to speak. So, yeah, let's have a listen.
According to plan, this future world ruler will prove himself to be a descendant of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene, and will therefore be accepted by the Christian world. Some will even view him as the Savior and Messiah. As a professed descendant of Christ and a proponent of world religion, he will also be accepted by Buddhists, Hindus, and the Eastern world, where Jesus Christ reportedly lived, studied, and preached Eastern philosophy. Since he is a descendant of the Hebrew tribes of Israel, he will also be accepted by Hebrews and Jews worldwide. By marrying a Muslim woman, he will win the acceptance of the Muslim world.
Right, but he hasn't married a Muslim woman, is where this sort of falls down, you know what I mean? So how will he get the acceptance of the Muslim world? I mean, his mum, Princess Diana, she was nearly married to a Muslim when she died in the tunnel there with Dodi Al Fayed. So there is a bit of a connection there to the Muslim world. There is talk as well of this being destroyed, this mosque, in the near future, because there's talk of having to build another temple here. That's another prophecy of building a third temple. I believe this is currently a mosque, so whether that'll get destroyed in the near future as well. But again, for me, this is all the stuff that we're talking about here has already happened. Well, we're going to try and fake it here, but if that's the case, I think this needs to go. We need to build a new temple on this land, on the Temple Mount here, I think is the scenario. So, yeah, again, by marrying a Muslim woman, unless Kate's in some way Muslim, and I don't know, because again, this again is 15-year-old, so Kate wasn't even really in the picture, I don't think, when this was made, being one problem here. But yeah, because you've got to unite the religions, and ultimately, if Islam's going to be the one world religion, you're going to have strong ties to Islam. So this could be completely wrong. Do you know what I mean? But the king being the king and the power of the king, and etc. etc. It does look like they will have some hand in all of this. You know what I mean? And William's sort of coming to the forefront now as well. It's what always makes me think of this, because the William looks like he's going to be king for this time. So yeah, how we'll get the Muslim world. Whether it's through his mother and Dodi Al Fayed connection, I don't know. Whether that's strong enough, I don't know. But we've seen the king bowing down to King Charles at the moment. But we've seen him bowing down to Islam in very many ways. People believing he's a Muslim, which I think he strongly is, to be honest. So perhaps William is also, perhaps they've all turned suit in the royal family and not told any of us, you know what I mean? They pretend to be the head of the Church of England, but really they've all turned to Muslim. So perhaps William's also a Muslim as well as Charles, and it's kind of unforeseen by us at the moment that just because the limelight's not really on William so much to kind of keep him out of it till he's king. So yeah, again, that could be a factor. He could just actually be a Muslim at this point, and there's a strong possibility with what we've seen from Charles.
He will also be accepted by worldwide Freemasonry and secret societies, which he is a member of. As the son of Princess Diana, he is...
Yeah, son of Princess Diana. So it's maybe going to mention that now about that thing. Yeah, he's definitely in the Freemasons, etc. William will be very, very high up at this point as well. He wears all the insignia when he's dressed up and that, so he's definitely in the club.
is already loved and worshipped. When his mother died in the arms of a Muslim man in a Paris car crash, the world embraced him. On May 31, 2004, the Rothschild-controlled Associated Press published a photograph worldwide taken by Alistair Grant. The photo shows Prince William posing with a lamb like Jesus Christ, who the Bible calls the Lamb of God. What is the significance of this photograph? To the unaware observer, the photograph is perfectly innocent, but to insiders familiar with the protocols of Zion, Freemasonry, and the Book of Revelations, William is identified in the photo as the Antichrist. The Antichrist has been described in art and literature as handsome and charming and a master of lies and deception. Freemasons call him the Baphomet, or Goat of Mendes. He has also been described as the embodiment of evil and the enemy of God, and has been called Satan, Lucifer, Pan, the Beast, and Amen. He is commonly illustrated with cloven hind hooves. Why is Prince William holding up a cloven hind hoof in the photograph? The question of whether God or Satan even exist has been fiercely debated since the beginning of debates. Some people believe that God and Satan are inventions of the ruling class to control the masses. Most people acknowledge the existence of positive creative energy characterized by joy, love, and vitality, and the existence of negative destructive energy characterized by greed, hatred, and death. The triumph of evil in the world today is based on the ability of evil to disguise itself as its opposite and fool the masses. According to Masonic calculations, Prince William is predicted to be crowned world dictator in the year 2015 at the age of 33. Without organized intervention, life and peace on earth will take on a whole new meaning.
So, ominous music. So again, the 33, again, linking it to Jesus at 33. When he died, then 2015. Well, we've passed that, obviously, you know what I mean? So, we're 11 years on, so it'll be 44 now, possibly 45. Williams, what I'm saying, this is old, and it's making predictions that aren't necessarily right all the time here, but it was very interesting there with the picture of the lamb. And he was holding up the hoof, as stated by the woman there. And yeah, well, why is the significance of holding the hoof in the picture? I mean, he maybe didn't know himself. It's the symbolism from the weirdos in the background. He didn't look very old there, so he might have not have been fully schooled on what he was up to yet. So, yeah, again, that's sort of the claim. Will Prince William be the Antichrist? That kind of thing. Again, we're a lot later down the line here, but another way of looking at that is he's like no man will know the hour. You know what I mean? It's like with these predictions, people making predictions of things like you don't. I've found as well, like I've known this a long time, and when you first learn it, you think the world's going to end in like a year. Do you know what I mean? But I've been here sort of 17 years looking at this. Don't get me wrong, we are running out of time now, because 17 years ago we weren't. You know what I mean? So there's still plenty of time, really, in ways. Death is not imminent. You know what I mean? Poverty might be imminent with the war and etc. Well, I don't think death's quite imminent, so there's still time here. Yeah, but Ring of Power, it's called. See, it's on for 5 hours, and it tells you a lot of stuff. A lot of it is correct, but there's some stuff isn't. You know what I mean? Again, it is old, and it's kind of trying to predict the future at this point. A lot of it will be the history of stuff. I just remember. I remember learning quite a lot from it. Do you know what I mean? But I always remember this sticking out about Prince William and will Prince William be the Antichrist? And that picture there of the hoof again. Why is he holding the hoof? And just because some good points made again about his mother there as well, dying with a Muslim. Whether that'll be a thing again if this person's again, there's a very real prospect he will kind of run the new world order. He will be the boss, so to speak. He's the king again. The king, it's kind of in the word here. Again, the Queen was a very, very powerful woman. The British Empire. Perhaps we didn't give the empire back. We just pretended to. Do you know what I mean? That would give us again control of a lot of the countries under the Commonwealth. So he's a man who could very much rouse a lot of people, and I even believe when people talk about King Charles and how much of a sort of dick he is, and Prince Andrew, people don't think of William in the same light. They really don't. They don't know the fella, and it's all very much PR, that very good PR over his entire lifetime. They don't know him at all, but they trust William, whereas they don't trust King Charles. Again, William has no hints of being a Muslim, but he very much could be, and it's all being sort of kept under the wraps here. So he's a very, very real prospect of the man who will rule the world because he will be the king. So all sort of again the fact that he hasn't married a Muslim and all this kind of crack, all that aside, he very much fits the profile of somebody who can run the world here, being the future king. Again, the Queen was very, very powerful. And the rumours are that like America is still run by us secretly. We just pretend we don't run it. And again, this is why Trump come kissing up to the king, because ultimately the king does rule America. We just pretend we don't. It's a lot easier that way. The king pretends he doesn't run England. It's a lot easier that way. But really they do, you know what I mean? That's why he's always at the Economic Forum and all these places, because he's planning the future here. So, yeah, it's a very, very real prospect of this guy being sort of the Antichrist in that sense, and being the ruler of the world in the near future when all this sort of transpires. And it's all just kept a secret till later down the line here. A lot of things have got to transpire during the war, especially. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But this figure we're waiting for that will rise up and rule the world, I think he's a very real prospect. I'll play another. I'll have a bit more of this and see what else he tells us. Hold on.
How many people would be willing to play a game of Monopoly with real money if the banker was making up the rules, rigging the dice, stealing the money, cheating the players, and grabbing up all the properties? The answer is almost everybody. The truth is that only 1% of the world's population of over 6 billion people is controlling the other 99%. That 1% owns the world's banks and most of the world's wealth, land, and resources. So why is everybody passively cooperating with this madness? because the wealthy 1% who write the rules have taught the other 99% to obey them and to feel powerless to change things. When people feel powerless, they cling to passive attitudes, like ignorance is bliss, things aren't that bad, or let God take care of everything. Before choosing a passive attitude, remember that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing. Despite all the red flags, many people deny that a problem even exists. It does exist, and the good news is there are solutions. The solutions lie in knowing what the three biggest fears of the world's ruling families are. The first biggest fear is exposure. They have gone to great lengths to cover up their trail of crimes and to win the public's trust through their media monopolies. Without public trust, their ancestral plan for global control is doomed. Their second biggest fear is losing public support. If the public stops cooperating, their plan is guaranteed to fail.
Boom. So, I mean, it's what I've been saying all along here, you know what I mean? What public opinion, what the zombies think is everything, absolutely everything. Because without the zombies, it's the beauty of it, without the zombies, they can't really get the plan going, that the zombies very much will walk into their own demise here. So, that's what's happening. Yeah, it's kind of why you try and wake people up, do you know what I mean? More of us can topple the global elite here, the satanic pedophiles, stop having wars and expensive oil and fucking no money because the economy's collapsing because we've been spending to an oblivion, all the pedophiles running amok and all the immigrants, etc., etc. We can pretty much fix every problem in the world if we get rid of the global elites. Mentioned it before. So, yeah, it's been a plan for nearly 2 decades here, but the zombies will not play ball with us here. The zombies will not play ball. So, yeah, I'll leave it there, really. Again, very, very long documentary, 5 hours long, nearly. A lot of information in here. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. It's called The Ring of Power, Empire of the City. Again, it's got all the players and tells you all the crack, even history. I think there was Albert Pike there. Stop on it, there we go. Albert Pike, mentioned him in a video, Freemason. So very, very detailed, to be honest. 5 hours long. A lot can be said in 5 hours. I always remember this about Prince William and the sheep thing and sort of the Antichrist figure. And yeah, for me, he's a very real prospect. And it looks like as the time is kind of approaching, he's being readied for the king position here. So not quite bang on about marrying a Muslim and everything, but again, there is the crack about his mum with a Muslim, so very interesting I found. And again, it always sticks with me, that. And again, look at the times we're in, look who's coming to power in the near future here, very, very imminently, it seems. So yeah, keep the options open, but it looks like it could be William, to be fair. We'll see. Obviously, all this is going to play out, so we'll wait and see. We'll leave it there. Peace.